This conference will now be recorded.
Hey guys, today I will walk you through about the different functions that we have got in Spark. So I already have the cluster created. So let me show you how to import an existing notebook. I already have some of my notebooks available in my local machine. I'm going to import them. So you can see the cluster is up and running. On the left hand side, click on workspace, click on users, and click on your email ID. You can see right click. You can see there is an option called as import option, and then I have selected file and I'm going to click on browse. So here I'm going to select one of my existing file. Let's say this is from the previous batches. I'm just trying to upload the same. Then click on import. So once you click on import, it will start importing. So not only just exporting or downloading the notebooks, you can even import the notebooks also. You can see that. So we have the notebooks imported. So, but now let me try to actually import the one that I'm looking for. I wanted to talk about functions. Hence, I will go ahead and try to right click import, and I will try to import the notebook which will talk about the functions. Let me just look at it. I think this is the one that I wanted to talk. Then click on import button. Yeah, so this is the one that I wanted to use. So if you wanted to rename this name also, you can do it. If you can just click here and you can rename with anything else. Let's say uh, anything else. Let's say latest functions in data frame latest, and then hit enter. In the top right corner, you can see that you can actually switch to this cluster, database cluster that we have created. Now the notebook is attached to your cluster. Only then you can run any commands or queries. So now, as I told earlier, so this is the way to create a data frame from a list. You can see that I have this employee data with the names employee name, employee gender, and employee salary. And then we are trying to create a list of column names here. And by using these two, we can create a data frame in Spark by using Spark session dot create data frame and then pass on that data. Then we have the data created. So let me run these cells. So that is how we can actually create a data frame. So you can see that we have the data created even by using a list as well, right? So here we have the employee data as nothing but list of tuples and column names is nothing but a list. By using both the combinations, we can actually create a data frame in Spark. And then, so in the previous session, we have seen how to drop the columns by using drop. But now to add a new column to an existing data frame, we are going to use with column. So suppose I wanted to add a new column called as new gender, hence I'm using with column. So with column takes two things as input. First one is nothing but the column name, and the second parameter is nothing but the logic. So now if you can look at the gender column here, you have M, which is nothing but male. So I wanted to fill up this new gender column with, if the gender is M, then I want to fill it as male. If the gender is F, I want to fill it as female. If the gender is null, then I want to leave it as blank. Otherwise, it will take whatever value is available. So this expr is nothing but a function in Spark using which you can write SQL like code. You can see here whatever you have here within this is like a SQL like code. Now this will create a new column for me with the name called as new gender, and then you have the values filled up here. So let's run this cell. Try to display this. Now you can see that you have new gender, and then you can see the If the gender is M, it's filling up with male. If the gender is F, it is filling up with female and so on, right? So that is how you can add a new column or a new field by using with column. And with column takes the column name as first parameter, second parameter is nothing but the logic. And EXPR is nothing but a function in Spark using which you can write SQL-like code. Then moving on to the next one, lit. So lit is nothing but a literal. So suppose, let's say that all these employees are working in Facebook organization. In that case, the organization name will be same for all the employees. If that is the case, then we can use with column again to create a new column. Column name is organization, and the function that I'm going to use is lit. So lit is nothing but a literal. So literal is nothing but a value, right? So value could be anything. Let's say in this case, I'm using organization name as Facebook. It could be anything else. Let's say Walmart, right? So that is how it is. You can see that all these employees have the same organization name. So you will use lit function especially when some values are not going to change for each record. So all the employees working in same organization will have same values, right? In that case, you can use lit. And let's say if you take a school, all the students will have school name as common. In that case, you can define the school name as lit, right? So that is a situation when you can use lit. So here Facebook is a string literal, right? And you can also have numerical literals also. Suppose all these employees are working under same manager, and let's say the manager ID is 123. In that case, you can create a new column called as manager ID and fill up the values by using lit of 123. That is, all these employees will have the manager ID as same, right? So this is again quite, it looks very simple, but this is quite handy, especially in the projects. If you wanted to define same values for multiple records, then that is the situation where you should go with lit. Lit stands for literal. Then the next function is split. We are already pretty familiar with split function, but again this is one of the real-time interview question. So you can see that I'm trying to create one more data frame. I have employee data which contains employee full name, right? Employee full name includes employee first name, middle name and last name, and then employee ID. Based on this data, I've created my data frame. Now, suppose from this, I wanted to create new columns such as employee first name, employee middle name, and employee last name. If you look at the data carefully, and if you look at the employee full name column, the data is separated based on comma, right? Comma is the delimiter or the separator. So we can split this full name based on comma as the delimiter. Then we can get the employee first name, employee middle name, and employee last name. So what will you get if you apply split function? So split, I'm taking the first parameter as the column name, which is nothing but employee first name. I'm splitting it based on comma as the delimiter. So what are you going to get as output once you apply split function? We have already learned. You're going to get a list. And now to access the elements in a list, we can use index. You can see index of 0 will get me the first name, which is nothing but James. And then you can say split of 1 will get me the next one, which is nothing but middle name. And then employee last name could be obtained by using. So that's how you can see that we are getting the different columns such as employee first name, middle name, and then last name, right? Any questions still here? I'll wait for a couple of minutes. Any questions so far? I think we are good. No doubts till now. Let's move on. So now there is an interesting function called as concat ws. To talk about that, I'm creating another data frame. So you have two columns here. One is student name. The second one is languages known. So this languages known is nothing but a list or an array, right? Now you can see that it is of array type, array of strings. Now what I would like to do is, if I wanted to concatenate or club the contents of these values in this particular column, then I can use concat ws. Then you can pass any literal or any separator that you wanted to use. Suppose let's say I wanted to use this hash symbol or pound symbol and then get this languages column. Then I can do it this way. You can see that concat ws takes first parameter as the delimiter, second parameter as the column, and then you're getting this output. And finally, you're going to get a list. Finally, you're going to get a string. Then explode, we are already pretty familiar. So we use explode only if it is of array type. Here languages known is of array type. Then we can apply using explode function on top of it. Once you apply explode, you're going to get all those values as different rows. Right? And then this is another interesting function called as with column renamed. Suppose you have given a column name and you wanted to change that column name. In that case, you can use a data frame API called as with column renamed. It's a pretty simple one. With column renamed, just two things as input. Just take two things as input. First one is the old name. Second one is nothing more the new name. If you look at this data frame, so this data frame has got the column name as languages known. And I wanted to rename that languages known to be something else. Let's say common languages. In that case, I can use with column renamed. So with column rename takes two things as input. First one is the old column name. Second one is nothing but the new column name. So here we are trying to rename languages known to common languages. So if you run it again, now you can see that the name has been changed from languages known to common languages. And it is showing as common languages now in the output. Right, so that's how you can actually work out with these examples. Again, these are very important. So I'll talk some more. I'll try to import one more notebook. 1 minute. Okay, let me import this notebook. So how do you import a notebook? You can import the notebook in any format. So right click on your email ID, click on import and select file here. Then you can actually click on browse. You can see the accepted formats are .dbc, .scala and all that. Ours is in .html format, so hence it is accepting. Click on browse. Then I'll try to import this notebook. Guys, can you hear me? Can someone confirm? I'm audible.
Yes, Vamsi.
Okay, thank you. So let me scroll down. I think we have seen these examples. So I think even we have seen this nested JSON example also in the previous session. Yeah, so I have got this data. So on the top right corner, make sure you attach this notebook to a cluster. Only then you can run anything. So I'm trying to attach this notebook to the database cluster that I've created. So then let me create this data frame. This is again a data frame of employee data. You can see employee name, employee department, and employee salary. So these are the three columns that we have got. And using this data, I'm trying to create this data frame. And then suppose you have a function called as collect list, which will get you all the elements in the form of a list. So I'm trying to apply this collect list function on top of this column called as employee salary column. Then you're going to get a list of all the employee salaries. You can see that we are getting all the employee salaries list. Again, because it is kind of list, it can include all the duplicate elements also. You can see that there are some employees where the salaries are same. You can see here there are some employees with the same salaries. In that case, collect list will show all those duplicates also. And there is another alternative called as collect set. If you go with collect set will show only the unique elements. Now see here in collect set, it is showing only the unique employee salaries. Then we have got count. We can count the number of elements based on a specific column. Suppose I wanted to count the number of salaries, then I can use count, and count will include the duplicates also. Hence, the total count is showing as 11. And there is another alternative called as count distinct. As the name suggests, it will consider only the distinct or the unique salaries when doing the count operation. See here, after applying count distinct, we are left with only 6. That is, we have only 6 unique or distinct salaries in our data. And then we have something called as first. Again, first is not the highest salary. First is nothing but the first record salary. If you can scroll up, here the first employee is nothing but James, and James' salary is 3,000. And to get that, we can apply first, and first is going to get you 3,000. So similarly, we have something called as last. Last will get to the last record salary. So the last record is of Saif, and the salary is showing us 4,100. And you can get the same by using last. If you use last, then you can see that you are getting 4,100. So that's how you can get the first record value and last record value by using first and last. Remember, these are different from minimum and maximum. We are not talking about minimum and maximum here. We are getting the first records value and last records specific value. To get the max value, we have a specific function called as max again. That will get to the maximum salary. So if you can scroll up, what is the highest salaried employee salary? I believe it should be 4,600, right? And minimum is, how much is the minimum? I think minimum is 3,000 or 2,000. Okay, we have 2,000 salaried employee also. So maximum is 4,600, minimum is 2,000. And we can get the same by using min and max. So max will get to the highest salaried employee 4,600, and min will get to the minimum salary. And you even also have something called as sum. So sum, as the name suggests, it will sum all the values. It will sum all the values based on a given column. So now we can see that it's going to sum all the salaries, and then you're getting this output. Also, we have a variant of it called as distinct, sum distinct. This will get you, or this will sum only the distinct salaries. Only the unique salaries are added, not everything else. That's where, if you can see the output, sum is showing us 37,000, whereas sum distinct is showing us 20,900. As expected, sum distinct will consider only the distinct or unique salaries. Then this is very, very important interview question, guys. So how to get the most highest salary, or let's say second highest salaried employee in each department? or let's say first hired salaried employee in each department. So this is a very common interview question, and let's see how to solve this problem. First, look at the data. This is the data that we have got, and get me the top salaried employee in each department. So you have sales department here, right? And we have sales department here. So who is the highest salaried employee in sales department? It's nothing but Michael. So similarly, we have finance department. Who is the highest salaried employee in finance? It's nothing but Scott. And similarly, we have got marketing, and marketing has got employees with the same salary. So the problem statement is get the top salaried employee in each department. So that is the problem statement. And let's see how to solve that problem. To solve that, I'm going to use row number function. So whenever you wanted to use row number, you have to define something called as window specification. So you have to import this window here, window dot partition by. So this partition by is similar to group by, and because we wanted to find the highest salaried employee in each department, hence I'm applying the partition by based on department, employer department, and we wanted to get the top salaried employee. Hence, I wanted to sort my data. For that, I'm using order by. Order by default will sort the data in ascending order. We have seen that already. And to sort it in the descending order, I'm using function called as DESC, and then I'm sorting it based on the descending order. Then I'm trying to create a new column by using with column, and the column name is row number. So row number dot over the window spec that you have created. So based on that, it's going to fill up these values for row number. So if we can take finance department, you can see that within finance department, who is the highest salaried employee? It's nothing but Jen. I think Jen has got the salary as 3,900 and Scott is 3,300. Maria is 3,000. So based on that, you can see that it started giving the numbering in row number column. So similarly, if you take marketing, we have got 2 employees, and interestingly, they have same salaries. If they have same salaries, even then, the row number will give you the values randomly. It will give the values randomly. And if you take sales department, Michael is a high salaried employee, hence he has got the row number as 1. Then Robert, and so on. So that's how the numbering is, right? Again, we are not done yet. We have just done the row number operation. Now we need to get the top highest salaried employee. How to get that? We have to apply filtering operation. So we have to apply filter based on row number column. Hence you can see I'm applying filter on row number equal to 1. So these are the employees with the top salary in each department. So this is very important example, guys. Any questions within this example? So they may ask you to write the code in Spark, and they'll give you such examples. Any questions so far? Okay. So now we have rank function also similar to row number. So let's see how it works. Again, the first step is common. Window spec. We wanted to find out the salary in each department. Hence, I'm using partition by and then employee department. Then I'm trying to sort it in the descending order by using order by based on the salary. Then I'm trying to create a new column called as rank dot over window spec that we have created in the previous cell. Then we are trying to run it. So one important difference with respect to rank and row number is, so you can see here, in case of duplicates, it will give you the same rank. You can see here within marketing, Jeff and Kumar, they are getting the same salary. In that case, rank will give you the same rank. But whereas row number was giving you the numbering as 1 and 2. But whereas with respect to rank, if the values are same, then it's going to give you same rank. Then I'm applying filtering operation. So hence you can see marketing is showing us 1 and 1. So it's displaying both the employees for marketing. Then we have something called as dense rank also. So these three are very important. In the interviews, you may get the questions on rank, dense rank, and row number. What is the difference between rank and dense rank? Or what is the difference among rank, dense rank, and row number? So be prepared for these questions. So now let's talk about dense rank. Again, the first step is common. You define the window spec, and then you try to create a new column called as dense rank over window spec. Then you can see the values. So the main difference between rank and dense rank is in case of ties or in case of same values, dense rank will also give you the same values. If you can see here in marketing, it's again giving you the same rank for Jeff and Kumar, rank as 1. But here in this case, in case of ties, if you can see here in sales department, you have first high salaried employees 4,600, second highest salaried employees 4,100, right? You can see that ranking is given as 2 and 2. Then the next one is going to get the rank as 3. But whereas in case of rank, if you can see here in sales department, it will skip the rank. It will skip the rank and then it will show you the results. If you can scroll up, see here you have 4,600, 4,100, because the values are same, it's giving you the same rank. And rank will skip the next rank. You can see it is skipping the next rank. It is going to give you the number as 4 here. But whereas with respect to dense rank, it won't skip. In case of ties, it will give the same rank, but it won't skip the rank. It will give the next rank. So that is the main difference between rank and dense rank. And then finally, we are applying the filtering operation to get the top 5 salaried employees. So then we have got lead and lag functions also. So lag, as the name suggests, is going to get the previous record value. Again, the first step is common, where we are defining window spec, and then I'm applying lag, and I'm saying that okay, fill up the values of lag column with the employee salary column from the previous record. So always the first record will have the null value for lag, because first record is the first record, hence it won't have any previous record, hence it will have the values as null. But if you take the next value 3,900, we are getting this from the previous record employee salary column, right? So that's why I mentioned it as lag. Employee salary of 1 is nothing but the values of this column will be filled up from the previous record employee salary column, right? And we have something called as lead also. Lead is opposite of lag. Lead will consider the next record value. Again, the first step is common, and then I'm mentioning lead, and then employee salary, and then 1, right? For lead, the last record will have null values. You can see you have null values for last record within the particular department. And then if you look at the values of these columns are from the next record. So if you look at the first record, 3,300 we are getting from the next record's employee salary, right? Similarly, 3,000 we are getting from the next record employee salary. So that's how lead and lag function works. And then we can partition our data also. Suppose to partition our data, we can actually use partition by and then department. So here I'm trying to partition my data based on department, and I am mentioning header as true. As I've told in the previous session, when you write the data, you can even mention header as true so that you can see the column names. I'm trying to write the employee data frame by mentioning header as true and partition by employee department, and then the format is showing as CSV. So suppose if I can change this to, let's say, December 2022. Let's try running this. So now have a look here. Because we have done the partitioning based on employee department, we have how many departments? We have totally three departments: finance, marketing, and sales. You can see that a folder has been created for, or a director has been created for each department. So if you see the forward slash symbol at the end, that's an indication that that's a directory. Each of these are directories. And then let's try to query any one of the department. Let's query the finance department. So if you see that within the finance department, you have got the data in the form of CSV files. So let's take any one of the sample record, and then you can use head command to see the data. So you can see that it's showing as Maria 3000, and Maria should be belonging to the finance department, right? So let us verify whether it is correct or not. If we can scroll up, so Maria belongs to finance department and salary is 3000, right? So that is correct. So let us look at one more department. So let us look at marketing department now. Again, you can see the data in the CSV files. Let's take one of the CSV file and let us paste it here and run this. Now you can see it showing as Jeff 3000. So Jeff 3000, Jeff record should be part of the marketing department. Let's confirm the same. So you can see that Jeff is part of marketing department and salary is 3000. So I expected it is correct. So that's how you can even partition your data, and when you partition it, it will create a directory for each and every department. And your partition column will be part of your directory structure here. So that's guys, can you hear me? I'm audible. Hello, hello, can you hear me?
Yes, Vamshi.
Okay, sorry, I think there is a network
Yes,
glitch. Uh,
yeah, we can hear now.
okay, so I'll repeat the partition part once again. So we can partition the data based on employee department, and when you partition your data, if you want, you can even write the data by mentioning header as true, so that you can see the column names also in your final data. And you can see that for each and every department, we'll have a dedicated directory or a folder created. and within each department you'll have the respective employees written over there, right? So this is also one of the performance tuning technique in Spark, where you try to partition your data frame when you write the data, so that we can avoid the full table scans of your data. So this is also considered to be one of the performance tuning technique in Spark. I think pretty much this is what I want to cover today, guys. So tomorrow I wanted to talk about Spark SQL, where we will see how to write the SQL-like code in Spark, and that is pretty much very easy. And I'll also suggest you some resources. Okay, I'll share this notebook with you, and I haven't used any files in today's session. As you have observed, I've created my data frames just by using the list, right? I think others, please feel free to. I think Lakshmi, you have some questions, right? You can stay back. Others, feel free to leave or stay back. We are done with today's session. So Lakshmi, you have your questions answered, or you want me to clarify any questions?
Yeah, that the so actually when we are having this this when we are downloading the CMC, if there is an employee's data, if I'm if I'm downloading it again, right, and obviously it is saving it as employee number one in my system. So without notice, when I'm trying to upload the employee one, I'm able to retrieve the data when using the FS percentage FS header. But the thing is, when I'm trying to create a database with it, since there is an integer, it is not letting me do. Is this something that we have to make notice and make sure that we are not doing that or something like that?
Um, I'm just looking at your screenshots. 1 minute.
Hmm.
So basically, you may have the data already uploaded in Databricks, and you are trying to upload the same file again. Yes, it will
Yeah.
try to create. It will create a kind of duplicate file name, and I think it should not be a problem. Maybe because of some special characters, it might be. Yeah, you can see that there is a
Yes, that's
space,
what.
right?
Space and number
So
when it.
you have to. No, number is not a problem. If you can
Okay.
see your screenshot, after load, there is a space, right? Because of that space, you might be seeing that error. If you remove that space, then things will be back to normal. So file name should not matter. Only thing that you have to take care is when you give your file name in the load command, you have to give the correct file name without having any spaces. So in this
Oh,
example, you can see that you have space before file store. That is
okay.
causing the issue.
Okay. I didn't. I thought the exception is showing the underscore and one, so I was concentrating
No,
on
no,
that.
no. That is never a problem.
Yeah, and my second question was about that custom schema. When
Uh-huh.
everything went through very well till then, but I don't know
Uh-huh.
why the JSON data was coming in between. I tried so many times, but it was giving me the same error again and again.
Okay, okay, 1 minute. I'm just checking. Okay. Yeah, this is interesting because you're giving CSV and the file name that you're giving is also CSV. Department failed to convert the JSON string data. Okay. What is this department custom schema? I think that's not part of the screenshot. You have it handy with you?
Yeah,
Then
yeah,
probably
I have.
something is wrong in that department custom schema itself. Otherwise, everything else is looking good.
Okay, one second.
Or do one thing, send a screenshot of that to me. We can again discuss.
Sure, I'll do that.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay,
you
guys,
don't.
that's all for today. Let's catch up tomorrow. We'll talk about Spark
Hey
SQL
Vamshi,
tomorrow. Yeah, yeah, Akram, go ahead.
yeah. So today is my first session for this
Okay, do
class.
one thing,
So
Akram. Just send me your email ID. I'll give you the access to the recordings.
all right, thank you so much.
Okay, yeah. See you guys. Bye.
Hey, one more thing, Vamsi.
Yeah, yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead, Lakshmi.
Sorry. Actually, today when we are doing this max, not about the max, like it is like the first and the last. I've seen like the Spark jobs were more than two. like there are even 3 Spark jobs. So is there something that we have to know about it, or it is just because we are running the application, it is just taking its job, the
So
job is being done?
basically, Spark job is nothing but you whenever you have any action in your code. Let's
Hmm.
say action is nothing but show is an action, right?
Right.
So and then collect is an action. First is an action. Count is an action.
Hmm.
Whenever you call such actions, it will create the Spark job. And if you remember, you have seen that on the Spark Web UI, right?
Yes.
The
Yes.
same
Yes.
thing is applicable here.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay then. Yeah, I think we are
Bhumika, I
good
just
for today.
shared you my
Let's meet tomorrow.
Sure.
I just
Thank you.
shared my
I
email
got it,
ID.
Akram. Yeah, I'll
All
share.
right.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay then. Bye.
Thank you.